Hello, I'm Dumb Kitten. This video introduces a third texturing method, manual sculpting. Before sculpting, return to the previously rigged Maya file. Export 3 expressions here to sculpt wrinkle details later. Right-click the controller in the outliner and select All Members. Press the S key at frame 1 to set a keyframe. Add keyframes at frames 4, 8, and 12. Finally, add a keyframe at frame 12. Now add expressions at frames 2, 6, and 10. This completes our set of 3 target expressions. Go to frame 2 and enable Auto key in the bottom right. For the first expression, move the 4 forehead controllers upward. Close both eyes, then move to the lower left controllers. Pull down the 4 purse controllers, then the adjacent ones. Protrude the mouth slightly without reaching extreme limits. That completes our first expression. Now move to frame 6 for the second expression. Pull down the brow arches and move the inner brow's center down. Scrunch the nose upward to create an angry look. Pull the upper lip up past the center point. Pull the lower corners down, staying above the midpoint. Pull the lower lip up just enough to close the mouth. Close both eyes again and squeeze these areas upward. Finally, pull these 2 neck controllers to the bottom. This expression is unique as it involves neck movement. This corresponds to the second wrinkle map. Go to frame 10 for the third expression. First, pull these 2 controllers upward. Then pull these up to make Kratos smile. Pull both corners of the mouth up significantly. Finally, pull both cheeks up a certain distance. The third expression, a smile for Kratos, is done. Now export these to ZBrush for detail sculpting. At the first expression, select the head and Ctrl-D to duplicate. Rename it for clarity, then hide the mesh. Repeat this for the next expression. Duplicate and rename. Duplicate and rename the final expression as well. Don't forget to duplicate the neutral head mesh too. Export these 4 head models individually as OBJ files. Use clear names before importing them into ZBrush. In ZBrush, import the neutral head as your base. Subdivide the model to a sufficient level. Under Tool, Layers, create a new layer named WM1. Lower subdivisions to minimum, then click Import. Select the first expression OBJ file, then restore subdivisions. Now you can begin detailed sculpting on this base. Setting layer intensity to 0 returns it to default. Repeat this process to create layers for the other expressions. I'll skip the repetition as the steps are identical. Let's use the second expression to demonstrate the workflow. Enable Record on the layer and use reference images. Add details without destroying the primary volumes of the mesh. Sculpt details that follow the flow of the existing shapes. Focus on creating wrinkles, not re-sculpting the entire expression. If secondary forms mismatch the original, the result fails. This is a critical point to remember. Find references online or use the ones I've provided. All materials are included in the corresponding asset pack. Simply follow the references during your sculpting process. Don't just copy blindly, analyze the wrinkle patterns. Understand the distribution logic shown in the references. Add wrinkles based on the model's current primary shapes. For this specific expression, don't forget the neck area. Avoid over-sculpting. Know when to stop adding fine details. Too much detail can result in a cluttered, noisy look. Enhance the base forms to achieve a polished final effect. Once finished, set the layer intensity back to 0. Set the next layer to 1 and enable record mode. Apply the same principles to sculpt the remaining expressions. Always follow the underlying anatomy and primary volumes. After sculpting all expressions, we can export the normal maps. To export the second map, set its intensity to 1. Go to lowest subdivision, set UV map size to 4K. Open the normal map menu, default settings are fine. Click Create Normal Map, then click Clone NM. The map now appears in the texture palette. Click Flip V to ensure the texture orientation is correct. Finally, click Export to save your normal map. Open it in Photoshop. ZBrush exports OpenGL by default. This matches Kratos' original maps, so no inversion is needed. Overlay this on the base map using the Overlay mode. From here, the process matches the second method shown previously. Use XNormal to generate a cavity map from the normal. Then create the diffuse maps as shown in the last video. I won't repeat the basic Photoshop color grading steps here. Export 3 diffuse maps and 3 normal maps total. This third method provides the most customized results. It's more labor-intensive, so choose based on your needs. Pick the workflow that best suits your project. Back in UE5, let's check the new texture effects. We'll recreate the same angry expression from Maya. Notice how prominent the wrinkle transitions are now. That concludes the texture production and modification section. Choose the method that fits your specific requirements. Click Pose in the left animation panel to open the UI. Find the Pose library within the Common folder. There are many preset expressions available for use. Instead of manual adjustments, simply select an expression. Click Select Controls, then click Paste Pose. The expression is automatically applied to the model. We will use this later for voice-synced animation. That's all for this episode. Next time, we'll import gear and finalize the remaining materials. Then we can start the voice animation. Keep creating and keep the passion alive. See you in the next one.